Good morning. How are you today? How are you doing? That's kind of looking like. Let's see where we are at this range. It's like, do we keep dropping or are we bouncing? That's the thing. We could bounce from here. Yeah, same here. Same here. So just FYI, I'm not gonna be trading on my computer. Just like as a precaution, I'm gonna be trading on my phone. Just in case when the weather gets bad, my internet it's a little spotty. So I will be letting you guys know exactly what I'm doing. Just in case my internet does go out, I don't want to be left in the dark as far as my trade. But I'll be letting you know exactly what I'm doing. So, I mean, do we rip up past VWAP here? I mean, is that the move? About 85 points away from VWAP. Yeah, this rage is absolutely killer. I don't even know. Price knows. I mean, like yesterday to see the there's like a couple situations like I could see, honestly. Like we do, okay, so we did this. If we come back down, if we break this and like we can come back down, that's like one scenario, right? I can definitely see that. Or if we just try to do this again. Maybe not that clean. We'd probably like, like something weird. And then we just kind of keep going back and forth, back and forth. Anticipate look. Yeah. Where do we bounce off of? Perfect, right off the golden pocket. And we currently are in the golden pocket. So buys make sense, right? But like I said, we're just in a gigantic range. Well, this is messy, man. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Just kind of gotta wait it out. See if we do get something. If we do, take it. If we don't, just kind of how it goes. What do we have for news? Boo. Let me see. Let's go. There you go. Pretty clear on news. I mean, if we get the sells, I mean, that'd be great. We got a good target. Previous week low. So we'll see. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, we're under flood warning. That's San Antonio. I live about about an hour away from San Antonio. Yeah, it's like flooding real bad over there. And my editing gets kind of funky when it rains really bad. So I won't be trading on my PC. I'm trading my phone, like entering my trade just in case. Yeah, San Antonio, they're doing a shelter in place. Crazy, yeah, it's flooding real bad. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Look around just on the outskirts of it. Yeah, it's been ready for the past like 4 or 5 days. Or not 4 or 5 days, maybe like 3 or 4 days. Hold on, return. Alright, so yeah, we are solid for sells here. They're sitting pretty well above VWAP. Oh yeah, I am scheduling a walkthrough for all the new updates and everything. I know there's been quite a bit of updates. Going over the new stats and everything. I mean next Friday, but I'll confirm everything. I'll make an announcement. And going through the auto trader and the progress with the Ninja Trader version. And like the new risk profiles and all that stuff. Everything that's been updated. I know some of this might be a little confusing. And like, yeah, the new filter system. Yeah, the stats look really good. The other version did have some more to be desired. Alright, heading down. Let's see, do we sweep or do we break? Yeah, I think if we break 300s this area, I think it should be good to go, but just getting there is the question. This is a rejection area. I could see us continue going down. Coming down, rejecting, coming back up, and then eventually probably be like a late break kind of thing. If we go that direction. It's a big if. Definitely hitting this area here though. If we break, we're good, but if we come back down and sweep and then just kind of push back up, we could be heading to the top of the range. Like I said, this is the fib level. Right in this golden pocket. We got about 4 minutes to orb. Do we continue to drop or do we bounce up? That is the kind of... I think we bounce up pretty much. Buys are pretty much off the table for today. It's just we were too far away from VWAP, which is kind of good as far as it gives us some distance, so that's better for trend, but at the same time that we are in a rejection area, so in the golden pocket, so. Oh, there we go. Hopefully you don't sweep. I don't know. This is gonna be a short day. We'll see. Good morning. Alright, so we're at my area of interest. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Very clean. Very clean. Alright, so this kind of moment of truth here. Orb is pretty big today. Be some volatility. What is it, Thursday? Thursday's the other money day. Yeah, it's very nice. Very clean. Very clean. Alright, about 25 seconds till we got orb. Cells are looking good. Leaded session. All right. Yeah, you just have to tune it for it. The settings are set to New York, so you would have to adjust the settings to, have it work for it. Can be done, yes. Just gotta adjust the settings. I try to work with leaded, it's a little wishy-washy. You'd have to do it like basically by hand. I can look into it again. I haven't done it with this new version, so actually I can re-look at it, like redo it again. it might work better. Actually, what I need to really do is do what I did with this version, like, well, to get to this version. So let me actually look at it. Like, let me ungate everything, and then work from the word that way down. That works a lot better. Then what I could do is just have a, like how I have with Auto Trader, it just have a preset for London. Yeah, because with Auto Trader, you just basically, there's custom settings and there's like MNQ, New York session. So let me look back into that actually. I can let my optimizer run for like over the weekend. Just let it run for a couple hours or probably the whole weekend. And then I can probably see if I come up with something good. Yeah, the reason they've just been, I have a better approach, I think, now than I did before when it comes to tuning. Like I found a better way to do it. Like how I was able to do it with this one. Yeah, just with settings and stuff. When you're like when I'm dialing in these settings, there's a lot involved as far as like, oh, we're dropping. There's a lot involved with making sure it's not overfit, it's not overfitting, it's not curve fitting. Make sure it's like it has, the settings aren't like, basically I have to like go up and down from each setting that I do to make sure there's no, like, it doesn't like collapse on itself. It's not like really about just P&L and profit factor and win rate. It's a little more involved. I gotta make sure like the ladder's correct. Like, are the A's, getting, performing correctly? Are the B's or the C's? Are the D's and F's leaving money on the table? If the ladder is incorrect, then the whole system falls apart. Because you want to make sure like the A setups are getting like, the most contracts, the B's are getting less, the C's are getting, the least. If you have a bunch of like C setups that are like absolutely winning, and you have like the least amount of contracts on there, I mean, you're definitely leaving money on the table. All right, about 30 seconds. This looks good. This looks good. Oh, this is not a sweep. You could definitely just shoot down the TP. You gotta be careful though. All right, 14 seconds. All right, I'm in. I am in. Like I said, I'm entering on my phone just in case my internet does go out. But I am in this trade. Just in case, here's a little visual representation. Just hope it's not a sweep. Like I said, we are in that golden pocket. If we do break, yeah, I'd like to see us hit the bottom of this range here. But what I could see happening is we get a reaction off the 786 level. That's usually like when you come that far in the fib, that's usually the reversal zone, because like usually the bounce come up. We bounce right off the golden pocket, came back up, bounce off the golden pocket again, and then we bounce right off the 236 level, and we're back in the golden pocket. Since we broke the golden pocket, as long as we don't sweep and we hold, we want to basically hold this. if we can hold this, it's not like for sure, it doesn't actually need to work like that, but if we could hold this and then basically bounce off of it and come back down, I could see us having a reaction here at the 786 level. But hopefully we get down to the previous week low. That'd be kind of like the ultimate goal here. So these are kind of like my levels of interest, just to kind of see if we have any type of reaction. So if you are a fib trader, these are, you know, some of the ways you can look at it. All right, let's see if we push it, how far we push into this FEG. Pretty strong rejection, or reversal, I guess. There you go, getting rejection. Right off this, right off my level here. See if we get a close outside orb. Alright, start pushing back up. Just one caution, we are in a range, so price could go back up or go back down, but I think we're in a decent position. And if you guys are, if you guys don't mind intraday drawdown, Apex is having a crazy sale. 50Ks are like 50. Was it 49 all in? No activation fee. $50 in total. That does work for the 5 packs as well. That's pretty insane. Honestly, never seen it that cheap before. Yeah. $50 all in. That is not bad. I mean, they are intraday, so, but, I mean, still, it's hella cheap. I mean, I don't think anyone else has got it for 50 all in. It's till the 21st the sale ends. It's just futures. Yeah, I mean, just, you know, if you pick up $150 is not bad. Like I said, yeah, it ends the 21st 21st, Tuesday, next Tuesday. Let me just double check. Tuesday. Yep, next Tuesday is when the sale ends. If you do, just use my code. Get you the discount. And they still have the 90% off, everything else as well. So, Apex. It's like the never-ending 90% sale, 90% off sale. Yeah, it's for all that stuff that has been going on lately. I don't know if you guys have been seeing, like, I think with alpha features, there's like a whole bunch of stuff. So they're trying to help out traders that were affected by it. So this is their way of helping out. All right, that 618 levels holding. Yeah, there's a lot of traders. A lot of traders are affected by it. So. And for like range trading, the fib levels definitely do help a lot. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with fib, but yeah, if you're like in a range like this, they definitely. I'm not saying they don't work or do work, like trend or not trend. They work either way, but especially with range trading, like since we're in a range, they tend to kind of give you an idea. You can't just slap a fib on there and just say, oh, the levels are here, but just a little more. It's a little more involved, but they definitely do kind of put you in the right direction. But this is where we have all this, we have all these wicks, all this movement upwards. We definitely could wick. We could have, this could be a sweep. So this is what this could possibly be, is like a liquidity sweep. Let's see, do we have a zone? So we had to, equal lows here was taken out. Liquidity was taken out. We pushed up. Yeah, this could be, this is kind of tough. Definitely got the M pattern going on. So let's see if we make this a leg down. Definitely a tricky area to trade, to be honest. This has just been tough. Are we gonna flip? So if we come up, are we gonna flip? If we come up. All right, so we got the new 4-hour candle here. We're pushing out of this 618 level. Yeah, looks like we're reversing. Let's see if we hold. Could be a pullback. If not, we could flip. and buys are on the table. They would be valid. Will be valid, I should say. I think, right? Yeah, they'll be on the table. Yep, looks like we're gonna flip. Well, they're on the table. It just depends. It can so with strong bear, it can flip can work. So the data shows like if it flips on a strong so if it goes opposite on on a stronger bull, those likelihoods of it working actually are higher. If it's weak, the trend is weak, it's usually like a pullback, so it's usually a fake out. But with a strong counter trend, those work more. So those are allowed to happen because it takes more conviction for the trend to flip very, very aggressively. Obviously, the rating is lower since it's not going to be like an A setup. All right, bounce off midline. See if we hold. And see if do we close underneath previous day low there. Yeah, I definitely closed above it, so. Let's see if we can stay long enough. See if this comes down. Yeah, looks like we're gonna flip. The edge isn't gone. It's just we're in the range. This is like the hardest area for orb to trade. All right, let's see if we flip out. Well, the month before wasn't that bad. So the past 2 months have been green. This month has been red. Yeah, it's definitely tough. Yeah, I'm sitting like quite a bit in drawdown, but still my accounts are still safe. But I also lighten my risk. We're in a sideways market. A big range. No clear direction. Breaking out, basically failing on every side. All right. Nice. If you break out this top side. Yeah, very true. Yep. This could possibly be our first red month, but still, I mean, the month's not over yet. Yep, very true. Yeah, it has definitely been worse. Mm. All right, now we're trying to slow down a little bit. Yeah, pretty much right off this level right here, we bounce off. Wicked it, swept, basically just swept it. Yeah, it's hard when you catch it like in a bad cycle. Like if you don't catch it with, if you're starting off red, it's gonna be tough. Definitely done that before. Yeah, once I get into like kind of deep drawdown, that's why I'll switch to like my lowest, basically the lowest setting, so that way like I can definitely survive. Because like if you have it on the lowest setting, it'll never blow account. Obviously, less money, but it's my safety parameters. Yeah, if it was like I don't know red for the next couple of months, I'd say maybe, but no, this is completely in this normal. Talking about a 60 something percent win rate. You gotta lose 40% of the time. In the first half of the year, all we did was pretty much win. You gotta balance out somewhere. We'll recover. It's all about it's all about being a marathon. Gotta stay in the game. Good point. Good point. Five losses in a row. That is the max consecutive losses. Oh, my bad. Oops. Appreciate it. Yeah, the win rate's got to drop eventually. It's got to normalize. Appreciate it. Appreciate the words. I bounced off previous day low. Are we just gonna chop the rest of the day and have a late breakout? See if we break these highs. We do have a 4-hour FEG there. See if we can get over VWAP first. That was so for this setup. That's the only thing I was actually a little bit worried about was it being a flush, like not flush, a sweep with the fib levels. Looked like we were kind of good holding underneath the 618 level, but that was something I was definitely looking at. Just where we were, I was hoping we could get to the bottom, but this area here seems to be very, very strong. We definitely could make this move. Yeah. Yeah, so the data shows that for a counter trend of strong and a strong bull bear, those work. If it's a weak, those tend to fail. So those are like kind of more of a pullback. So we are good for both sides. Price is, we're well above, like for price for, it's not going to transition. That's like, we're too deep into a strong bear. VWAP is in a good position. You know, we can definitely break that. Obviously, if you break topside orb. What are we stuck at? 500? Yeah, we're stuck. We just hit the 500 level here. Looks like we might consolidate a little bit. We might be consolidating. We're doing a little bit of barcoding. Alrighty, have a good one. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Yeah, from like the overall push from like our equity high. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, we had a super strong front half of the year. I doubt that we'll, have a bad back half. Like I said, we can't be in this range forever. We gotta eventually get out of this. But we have been just, and then we just been kind of getting tighter and tighter. Started off in this big range. I mean, we're still in this big range. Or like, no, it's not that we're out of the big range, but then the range has been just kind of getting like a little bit tighter. Now we're like in the middle of the smallest part of the range. Oh no, don't say that. That'd be absolutely terrible. But it kind of, if you think about it, it makes sense. This makes sense because this run was so long and straight up that this is like the kind of like the consequence. Because if you think about it, this run was from like the bottom of the run was from March, the very end of March, right? Then we hit the peak in June. Like this run was insane. And then we just did this. So like in the grand scheme of things, kind of, you know, equilibrium. It just sucks that like this is where orb trading gets a little tough. We're dependent on trend. We tested VWAP. Yeah, it's just well, yeah, that's where it works the best. Even like it's not even like trending necessarily, but just not up and down. Not like, you know, one day it's up, one day it's down, one day it's up, one day it's down. That's kind of like been the problem. Is like we'll come down, like we'll go a direction from like the overnight, and then right when New York hits, that's when the correction happens. Infinite range. It's actually really funny. It's like it's like the worst nightmare. Yep, pretty much. And this is unfortunate. We barely missed this one. But like the pattern has been breakout to one side, fail, go to the other side. Like I think I've been saying this. Like we literally just been doing this. So it's not even like so much like, you know, everyone that went long got taken out. Obviously it was news, a little bit of news, but look at the live candle. What? But yeah, failure, breakout, failure, came back to the other side of orb, then breakout. Failure, both sides, then broke out. Failure, then broke out. This one was a win, but still, I mean, this one was like probably like a this is like the like last decent, you know, actual trade. Oh, this one was good. Failure, reversal. Failure. I mean, obviously, but still just the you know, failure, come back in, then breakout, failure, or, you know, just completely came back in the range. This one was good. This one was a win, but, you know, reversal. But yeah, so it's not like, you know, nothing new. I swear, man, it's like 2023 all over again. Yeah, I can look at it real quick. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Let's take a look. Let me get the most current version. So that way we have the most current data. So that will include that loss. Oh no, I have not checked food yet. Was a little busy. I'll probably get to it over the weekend. That way I can, because when I do like the optimization runs, I just let the computer just run for, you know, hours. So I could do like, you know, hundreds of different combinations. Try not to do thousands because that would literally take weeks. All right, here we go. Yep, so they're still sitting at 62% win rate. That has not really dropped much. All right, let me look at the data. Let's see exactly where we are. We'll look at this year as well. We shall look at this year. Hold on, I shall make sure I got the right one. There we go. All right. While we wait. So look at this here real quick. Yeah, so this is our current drawdown. That's true. That is true. I would have to, and then we can actually do like a side by side comparison. See if it's it's a relative, or if one if there's like some type of transition as far as does like London do bad and New York do bad, or is London do better and then when New York does bad? Yeah, I definitely hope so. So yeah, so we are in, you know, from equity high, because this is going from like, you know, the from our high point. Obviously, we've been coming down. Not great. Still for the year, still sitting at 62% win rate. So it's not, you know, we were sitting at 2.0, but now obviously we've definitely dropped. You can see our equity curve has gone down a little bit, but as you can see, the beginning of the year was absolutely phenomenal. And then April was, you know, kind of okay. Had a good run, came back down, had a good run, and then kind of just, you know, kind of been going back and forth. You know, phenomenal start to the year. 2 losses that whole month. Very slow February, but still very profitable. When would it matter? You know, still same thing. 2 losses. Well, we had a bunch of losses, but still did pretty well. May still was profitable, even though we did take a bunch of losses. June still great. I mean, you know, good. That's still green. And then this month, down 1,300. No, it just means that it's the new max, I guess. Oops. I don't see us really going past it. But yeah, this is pretty bad. But that's still not even, it's not even been in the worst month to date. Obviously the month's not over, but Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But yeah, that's what it seems like. I mean, it just once we get out of this area, once we get going again, it's gonna be, you know, we'll start producing numbers again. Just the past what? Well, I guess 3 months now. Past 2 months weren't that great, but this month is actually gonna be like this is actually looking like it's gonna be pretty rough. Well, so far, I mean, it could turn around. All we need is like two or three wins. We're pretty much gonna push it back to, you know, the drawdown will come around. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't. Yeah, it's pretty much a waiting game, honestly. If we look like our recovery factor is really, really strong. Yeah, just about surviving this area. Let's see, what do we for this? Yeah, we're still up 10,000 for the year. 58 wins, 36 losses. You know, still respectable. Yeah, it's definitely still respectable. We are sitting at 62, I believe, for the year. Let me look. Hold on. 62% win rate. And 100 trades, that's not too, you know, it's pretty good for the year. No, we were at 6. Well, we were at, let's take a look. Hold on. Let's see, when do we start losing? Probably what we'll go to May. Actually, let's go to, yeah, let's go to May. 72. That's where we're still like in like a pretty decent run. 67. 65. 62, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit of the tough part. If you come like in any part of the bad streak, yeah, it's a little tough. Okay, let's look at 2020, because that was a absolutely monster of a year. Let's just see how, if we went through what we went through that we went through then. We made 21,000 last year. Okay, solid start to the year. Solid start again. The beginning of the year is always good. Like it's pretty much almost across the board like that. May, June, July slowed down a little bit. August was good. September, not super great. October was pretty good. December, yeah, that's to be expected. but pretty much the whole year was green. I mean, yeah, July was weak, the weakest I would say. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so it's like, you know, if we even go back, let's see, 2024, so like August, not super strong. May, also weak, was red. Where was the her bad run? Yeah, I go June, absolutely tanked. And this is kind of the era we're at right now. This kind of looks like this year. Oh, not this year, but like this. It seems like 2022. Because we're in July. We had a low performing month, two low performing months, and a red month, and then absolutely came back. And then literally just destroyed, the rest of the year. Just I would say 2022 is like what we're looking. Yeah, because it's like we look, pretty strong to start. I mean, not too great, you know, and then May, June absolutely tanked, and then just exploded. The back half was, phenomenal. What was 2022? Hold on, let me see. What was the 2022? 15,000. Pretty solid year. 24. Yeah. Was it 2020? 2024 was even one of our lowest win rates too. Had a bit rush under 60% win rate. And then we just had a monster run for 2025. Oh no, absolutely not. This is just giving us, where we sit on a statistical, you know. But we did take a no. I would say we took a lot of trades actually, but no, we didn't. It's pretty much averaged. Yeah, and like we said, like we out of 83 months, we were profitable 72 months. And our recovery factor is really good. So we got wiggle room. Like once you understand, like, well, I'm not saying you guys don't understand data, but once you look at the data, once you understand, like, where, and it seems like always the summertime, it's where it gets the toughest. Yeah, actually, I have. But yeah, I can get. Yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, because I have looked into the months that were. Sorry, to play that song. Maybe that's what she was talking about. Maybe she was a trader before. But to be honest, yeah. To be honest, I don't know if you guys followed some traders. Some traders have been struggling as well. We're not the only ones. The only thing the data doesn't account for is like the Trump market, because there wasn't a Trump market to have data on. Nice, nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah, but I'll look into like the win rates of the bad months. Yeah, just because we have, even if we do have a red month, there's no reason we can't have a green month next month. And that's like that's why like, so there's like kind of two trains of thoughts. Like you can go like kind of two different ways. You can go like full throttle and yeah, I'll look into that. Like basically how we're doing it with like the contracts to see like what's the like not the recovery point, but like the odds of red month, green month. It kind of ties into the recovery factor, like how because what the system does when I've actually like tested this out, the amount of time we get into drawdown and then we get out of it is that's where like the 40x comes from. That once we do get into drawdown, our recovery is explosive. But let me actually get the data so I can actually show you versus me just saying stuff. I mean, the data kind of is, kind of speaks for itself. It's like as far as like red month and then the next month, 3 months are, green. Yeah, no, that's what everyone's risk tolerance is so different. Yeah. But yeah, some people like some honestly, some people this is their market. Like this is some people literally this is what they eat off of is ranging markets. Just playing the tops and bottoms, and this is where we struggle. But yeah, this is some people absolutely love this market because this is easy for them to trade because all they do is just they look for their areas of interest. They just call the tops like, okay, here's my support. I'm just gonna call this top, and they'll write it down. Same thing. I know we already hit twice, or we've already hit several times. Let's be honest, and then they'll just write it down. That's just how it goes. And then when we're in, when we're in our green period, they could be, struggling. A million ways to skin a cat. Oh, what I was saying is, so as far as like, the drawdown, the risk, all that stuff. So there's kind of like two trains of thought that I like to, that you can, I think you can approach this. And I'll just talk about 50Ks because that's kind of the most common and, it's the simplest. So like you could do like, so we have all the risks, profiles. So we know exactly what the tolerances are for the, if you're risking, for, the going to this, I'm not trying to do the evals, but like, so we know this is the data, right? So we know that obviously there's a chance that this could be touched again. There's, it's not like the end all be all, but this is, this is where most we've hit in 7 years. So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at. But so this is with no drawdown protocol. This is just going absolutely full force, never backing off trade size. You're just kind of letting it, if it blows kind of mindset. And then if you like, if you do get into drawdown, say like, $1,000 is like, okay, I need to pump the brakes. Well, we know if you go conservative, your max drawdown is 6,500. So like, if you were like in $1,000 drawdown, And then you're like, okay, I know that 6,500 is like the max. Obviously, there's a chance of, you know, it blowing still, but like the likelihood is gone down dramatically. Now you definitely have room to go down. So just, you know, are you okay with your accounts? No, this is just normal. This is not with that filter on. This is just like the normal data. Yeah, none of the data has that filter on there, just because I don't want to confuse people. You definitely can do it, and that's definitely helpful. But if you just want to trade it straight up, but if you had like a, you know, if you're okay with blowing accounts, like, you know, because, you know, it happens, even if, even the best traders still blow accounts. It's not like it's uncommon. But if you have like a drawdown protocol, like, okay, if I get an X amount of drawdown, or maybe take X amount of losses, and if you lower the risk to 250, obviously, you know, it's less money, but you're able to survive, and, you know, you get, you know, $500 in drawdown, then you're like, okay, I'm going to go back to my normal risk, or, you know, if you want to go to zero, you know, however you want to do it, that gives you, you have a fighting chance for sure. If you look at the data, I mean, over the 7 years, if you did two, obviously it's, you know, less money. It's like 68,000, which is, you know, it's not bad. I mean, this is, if you have 10 accounts, you're still eating, you know, but, you know, it's slow, but you're not in any danger. Obviously the drawdown is higher on this, but it's not absurd. You could still, you know, this is with intervention, you're fine. You just need to figure out, okay, what's my threshold? And then honestly, like, if I get into like too deep, I just buy another account. I mean, I know it's not maybe not the best way to think about it, but it's like, okay, you know, I see the writing on the wall, you know, it might be time to replace an account. Obviously don't want it to blow. But what that also does is alleviate the stress of like, oh, this count is in drawdown. And then, like, if you start lightening the risk, it obviously it's going to take longer to get back to positive, but at least you have another account going to say, okay, well, that one's in drawdown. I'm going to nurse that one back to health. I'm going to start on another one. And, you know, if we change, the market changes, you know, if I pass, you know, either I got another account or I replace my account that's going to blow. However you want to go about it. So there's like two trains of thought. Like, if you don't care, like, I'm getting my payouts. If this account goes, I just replace it. That's one thought. Or I want to nurse this one back to health. I'm going to lower the risk to what I know is safe, and then just go from there. So, like, using the system, theoretically, you shouldn't be blowing accounts. Obviously, there's human error. There's stuff like that. There's a little bit more to it than that. There's, you know, motions. There's, you accidentally put 20 instead of 2. You hit buy instead of sell. Obviously, there's human error. Or trading the wrong account. Maybe you're like, oh, you thought you're on your 150 and you're really on your 50, so you entered too many contracts. You know, there's stuff that happens. News, Trump, also slippage. You know, there's a lot of things that could happen. There's real world scenarios. You know, like when Trump, the trade that we actually got lucky from, that taking, people blew their accounts because of the slippage. I don't know which where it was, but yeah, from that one Trump one, you know, people got stuck in the trade and blew their account. Luckily, we didn't have to deal with that one, but things happen. Yeah, very true. But even so, like, the data's there. The data's supporting, that is supporting, what this is all built on. It's not just like willy nilly. It can't be proven. It's all there. But the biggest thing, this, the indicator, executes, perfectly because it's code. But then there's, the human side, and then no, it does not. But it also becomes risk management. Like let's see something. Let's see. I'm just curious. And I think that's one of the biggest questions I get asked all the time is like, how much should I risk? Or like, and I'm not trying to knock anyone. I'm not trying to, say they shouldn't do that or do this, what you shouldn't do. But like they have like, $10,000 account or 20,000, just whatever amount. And they're risking a kind of a large amount. And it's like, man, but they're playing it on the odds of the drawdown. Like as far as how many losses can I take, like of like 5 or 6. Yeah, it's a dangerous game to play. I always try to lean into the dynamic risk, not static, because static is where you get killed. That's what the system is built on, dynamic risk. That's where it shines. That's what basically makes it different from a lot of other strategies. Is it's not dynamic. It doesn't say, oh, put the stop loss at midline, or risk 200 every time, risk 500 every time. But I mean, I can't, I can't tell them what to do. So I just give them advice. There you go. What would be the drawdown for 250? Where is it? 250. About $1,500. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's pretty high, but about $400 ish difference. Yeah. Yeah. More time in the game, you start understanding accounts are gonna blow, or not every strategy is gonna hold up in every single market. It's gonna be, that's the biggest thing. It's like 60% win rate. It means you are losing 40% of the time. Let's see. And when you take about like what 200-ish, almost 200 trades last year. I took a lot. We're on the upper side. We've already taken about 100 trades this year. That's a tough call. As far as, well, I normally I wouldn't like. I would just say go ahead, but like with this market, well, that's the thing, because like we never know when the market's gonna. So from an eval point of view, the best time to start an eval is the first Tuesday of every month. That is the most opportune time to start. That's what statistically has the biggest edge. Not edge, like win rate as far as like the start. That is like when that's, you know, I would say like on a Tuesday in general, that'd be like the best time to start. Because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or that, yeah, you don't have to follow that. That is like the highest probability of that's when we win. But I would say Tuesday to Thursday. Like if you look, where is it? Like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are the money days. Like especially Thursday, but those are the middle of the week is where it's at. Mondays have always been weak when it's always been unknown. See you tomorrow. That's always been a known thing. But like the middle of the week is, I would say that's the best time to start. Obviously, right now it's, you know, it's a little tricky with the markets. But you know, possibly waiting. You know, I would say possibly wait till next month. But the thing is like, what if we catch the run? You know, we start catching the run early. You know, say like halfway through the month, we, you know, last 2 weeks or last week we start, you know, actually, you know, tearing through. But let me look into it a little bit more, because I only look at day of the week. Let me see if it's statistically better to start at the beginning. Because I know the first, I would assume the beginning of the month would be like the most opportune, because I know the first Tuesday is like the best time to start an evaluation. So let me look at the actually like time of the month, if there, you know, if there truly is one. Let's see. Yeah, I'll look into today and see. Is it better to start at the beginning? Is for, you know, does it matter if you start in the middle? That'd be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting data. Yeah, I will definitely look that up and see what I find. All right, so I'm looking at the weakest month and seasonal pattern. Definitely have some patterns here. So the weakest month statistically is September. Most of the money is made through November and April. And then it gets kind of slow between May through October. But that's, you know, that's going through every single year. Not every year is exactly the same. Yeah, so let's see. So looking at it, it says we're up $10,000, which is the second best start on record, behind 2025, which was absolutely insane. So we're basically as how we started the year. So we're right on pace. The only thing that's a little bit down is the win rate. From the average around this time of year is about 65. We're at about 62. Drawdown is a little much. Normally around this time we were about, we hit about 1200 to 1800 in DD, but it's not the worst. 2022 was actually the worst for the same window of time. We hit 2456. So we're still within range. So yeah, this is what it's being called is the July stumble. What's considered unusual. So here, let me show you. Hold on, let me see. So this is every year to this date, except for 2029. So this is every year compared to today. As you see, we're tied with 2024. Definitely, well, we had a significant amount of, well, not really. We have 94 trades. So it's every year compared to, to up to now. So if it was if it was, like completely off, I would say, something's up, but pretty much in a normal window. And we have suffered worse. Like I said, 2022 in this exact window, for this window of time, we actually had worse DD. So we haven't broke anything that's out of the ordinary yet. Looks like we wanted to. Looks like we're at the 6-1A level again. Are rejecting pretty hard though. Do we continue down? Swept the lows. Push up, hit VWAP, came back down. Now, if we break these lows, I think we free fall. No, wait. Oops. I don't know why I did that. I think if we break these lows, we tumble. We might come down. Just when we do it. Yeah, if we had like some catastrophic failure, I would say like, something's up, but definitely not have reached that level yet. Oh, getting a pump up. And rejecting there. See if we. I kind of still I kind of still like cells, to be honest. But this is kind of you know, a little wiki. So I'm wondering, like, is this so? Are we like officially? Well, it's hard to say. Because I would like to see it come to the bottom of the overall range here. I would like to see it come down here. I'm just curious to see if it's. All right, can we break these lows? Can we break out on the bottom side? That's what I really want to see. Because if that's the case, I think like, you know, TP2 could be interesting. Definitely make it a green day. Oopsie daisy. Alright, a little choppy mid-range. Still holding above a previous day low. Oh, this is an interesting area. I think we could drop, but I don't know if this is the official, if this is like the new official range that we're working with, or if, we're still using this, this is still in play. This is what I'm wondering about. Yeah, this is... You definitely see us breaking to the top side. As, as possibility. Are we switching trends? I mean, honestly, there's no, like, the trends haven't been substantial. They haven't been for more than a day or so. I think I'm gonna call it pretty soon. It doesn't seem like much is gonna happen. We might get the late break though, so just keep an eye on that. I assume we're gonna break somewhere. Like we're gonna have to go somewhere. I don't think it's gonna be. I mean, it can, since we had a big drop yesterday. It could be like this, but we didn't have such aggressive movement. We barely broke out, so I think we're gonna do something. Hopefully not like this. This would be bad, but or it was like, what was it? Maybe something like this, where we just like break out, then chop, but we actually get pretty far into profit. Yeah, these markets have been so bad. It's like a nightmare. Just looking at this, like this is ugly. What is this? Like what is this? Same thing here. That's the only clean movement. And look at this. It's just like there's like a pattern of just messiness. So can't really blame the edge if the markets just absolutely don't cooperate. Like it's not an edge thing. It's a pretty much a market thing. Like, everything, if it checks all the boxes, everything's valid. It just, the market just is absolutely just going back and forth. Like, yeah, it's just, like, yeah, it's been tough. This is CPI, but yeah, it might be time, but I'm gonna grind it out. Like I said, I have drawdown protocols and I prepare for the worst. Next, I've looked at it like I look at it as very statistically. I look at it as like, okay, like I said, if I go into too deep drawdown, if I go too far, I'm like, okay, all right, let's put another one in, put another eval in, you know, whatever the case. Because statistically, eventually I'll pass. Like, you know, eventually I get a payout. It's just, you know, do I want to go full throttle the whole way? Do I just never want to back off? Do I want to go into, you know, drawdown protocol and save the account?